Good morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. This morning I've decided can't go away very far because we're going to our local beer festival, so I've only got limited time. However, my friend Alan told me last night about this location near Loch Achray that might prove to be quite nice this morning because I'm here just before sunrise. It's this last sunrise before the clocks go back, and I'm hoping I could get some nice autumnal reflections over the loch. So join me and let's see where this journey takes us. I'm walking down. It's supposed to be something like this campsite that I'm going to that's closed for the winter. It's supposed to be 650 metres away from where I parked. But as ever, things are always faster when you're in your car. And when you start walking, you go, oh, this is a lot longer than I thought. So I still haven't seen it. I've been up and down quite a bit of hill. And I believe it could be quite a climb back up by the looks of it. That was quite pleasant there, walking downhill. I've seen what I think could be the entrance to this campsite. I've never actually been to this campsite before. I only know about it because I've driven past it loads and when Alan mentioned it last night. So I'm going to try and work my way past here and see if there's an entrance somewhere. And then I can get down to the edge of the loch. The campsite's closed for winter. These are the welcome cabins. There's public toilets. I actually don't know if they're open. I would expect them to be locked. Aye, they're locked. Right, I was just doing it for nosiness. I'm just going to walk down because I'm guessing there must be a place down here. Oh, there's some campers. There you are. Of course, there's campers. Folk wild camping and a fisherman, I believe. Right, I'm not going to talk too loud. I don't want to disturb them. But I'm going to be walking along the loch's edge to get photos anyway. Right, let's go and have a wee scout about. There's a sign here. So I'm at this wee bridge and there's shallows at the end where the water comes out. So some trees and some pitches over here on the left hand side, which I'm not sure if anybody will be on, but that's quite a nice wee view. No light at the moment. That's a nice wee view as well. So I'm just going to have a wee scout around over here. See, the sun's still got about 20 minutes to come up, or actually maybe even more because we're surrounded by the mountains. But we're here for now anyway. Let's go see what we can find. Right, I've just come to the edge of the loch. It's really quiet. There's a wee breeze, so the waves for the water are lapping to the side's edge. But if you've never been up here before, that mountain peak there is Ben Ann. And then this is Loch Achray. Over on the left hand side round that corner is Loch Achray Hotel, and that is Tigmore. And Tigmore was built in the kind of 17th, 18th century as a mansion for hunters that used to come up to this area that were very, very rich in royalty as well. And today it's been converted to a hotel. But I'm just looking at the colours. The colours at this time of the morning don't look mega strong yet. I'm expecting the sun to come up here. There's a wee lick of red on some of the clouds over there. So hopefully we won't have to wait too long. I just kept following the forest trail and I've come to a road. So I know this road. I didn't know this trail ended here. But look at that, I've got a really nice pink top. I was a bit of thinking this might make quite a nice composition. So I'm going to get my camera out, I'm going to take a shot. And if this image works, I'll share the image with you now. Right, we'll try and find our way down to the water's edge and see if we can get some colour in the sky. There's a lot of movement in the loch. Might need a long exposure to smoothen out the water, but let's gauge that when we get to a location. Right, I've seen a wee beach area. It's just down there. I've come all the way through the forest. I've had to traverse all the way around. So I'm just working my way down now. Oh boy, that moss is a killer to walk through. But some beautiful colours here. Another thing I've noticed as I've been walking is there's loads of mushrooms and toadstools growing off the trees. Right, I'm going to catch this light before it disappears. So my first scene here is I've got the view of the clouds being lit up by the sun, and I'm using these trees on each side as a frame, and in theory that'll push us through to the end of the loch and then we can see the sunrise. Right, what I'm going to do is before I lose that light, I'm going to get down low and use that rock in the beach as foreground interest and shoot up, and I'll maybe look at how I do a long exposure as well to smoothen out the water. But I'll share these images with you now. The composition I've got here is, I've got this rock here on the bottom left. I'm going to lighten up the shadows anyway. I'm just exposing for the sky, so I've got that beautiful blue and pink in my background. My focal point is right in the middle, and I did mention earlier that I will do some long exposures. Unfortunately, I can't because I left my filters in the house because I was repairing. If you'd watched 2 videos ago, I was doing a budget photography video in the garage with items I picked up in the garden, and the bottom of my tripod leg broke. One of the hooks fell off. So I've repaired that, and I forgot to transfer over the filters from that tripod, my old tripod that I used last week, to this tripod. Hey ho. Right, I'm going to take 2 or 3 different images. We're definitely not going to get a long exposure, so I'm going to have to make do with what I've got this morning, which is just a polarizer. And yeah, I'll share these images with you now. I was using my photo pills up there just to find out when the sun was going to come up. And as you can see, the sun's licking the top of the mountains there. That's Ben Venu over there on the left. But as I look behind me, I've used my photo app pills. So right now the sun is here, and then at 11 o'clock it's going to be here, and then 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock it's going to be up there. So what I'm going to do is, rather than, I can't spend a huge amount of time here this morning just because we're going out later, but what I will do is I'll look for other compositions, and I've actually found one. So this is going to be a wee bit kind of against the landscape ethos of having complete detail back to front. So what I've got here is I've got a composition where I've got this really nice orange bush on the right hand side, and then I've got the kind of gatehouse over there in the distance, but I've got this tree, so I've got a nice wee frame, so it looks like a rabbit hole that I'm going through to get to that house. Now, it's got really, really windy, and as you can see, it's getting quite choppy. So, and because I've got no long exposure filters, my only option is to freeze the movement of the leaves, because the leaves are getting blown quite a bit. So I've stopped down to f2.8. I've got a 250th of a second, and I've had to increase my ISO to 800. You don't always have to be at ISO 100 or ISO 50, depending on the conditions that you're in. You just adjust your settings anyway. And as long as you like the image, that's the main thing. Right, I'll share this image with you now. So while I'm waiting on the light, I'm also taking the opportunity to have a wee look at what details are around me. So if I show you, I've got these 2 sprigs of heather sitting on the rock, and then I've got the water in the background, and then I've got that line above it, which I can actually take out anyway if I do a crop. But the key thing is I want to isolate these. So I'm using f2.8. I'm still using a 250th of a second just to freeze any movement. And I'm still shooting at ISO 800. So what I'll do is I'll look for a couple of more details like that. And then I'll share these images with you now. Well, we've still not got any light on those trees, which would be absolutely magical. I'm going to give it, I don't know, 5-10 more minutes, and then I'm going to follow the Loch coastline and see if there's anything else I find of interest there. But as I've been standing, I'm looking at the orange leaves, and they're absolutely cracking. And I got some nice pictures of those orange leaves as well. And do you know what's funny? I've not seen any birds here yet. And I read something during the week that robins, the bird in the UK, they're the European robin that we have in our gardens. And they're kind of here all year round. But the fascinating thing was, not really the robin, but did you know that we call it the robin redbreast? But it's actually orange. And squirrels are orange, and foxes are orange, but they get a tag of being the red squirrel and the red fox. And the reason that they've got that name is, we didn't have orange in the English language until 1502. And then up until 1502, when the word orange was then officially declared or added to the dictionary, it was kind of yellow-red or red. So that's why we've got red robins and red squirrels and red foxes, because we didn't actually have the word. So there you go, there's a wee simple fact for you. While I'm waiting on the sun, just as I was about to leave, wait to see this, the sun has blessed us with some light. Oh, look at this over here on the right hand side. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. Right, we just need the tip of Ben Ann lit up now, but wow, that's beautiful over there as well. Right, I'm going to take some shots and I'll share these with you now. I lost the light again, so I've come back into the woods, but pretty deep into the woods. So I'm following the shoreline because I can't find the path. So if I follow the shoreline, I'll probably end up where I started, if I can get round that way anyway. If not, I know the general direction of what way I can go, which is up that direction. But I'm going to walk close at the edge and see if we get something interesting. What I have discovered is there's quite a bit of fungi growing off the edge of the trees. So I've got one here. It's actually quite nice. It's got about 3 or 4 different colour bands on it. So if I take a shot with my iPhone and I just hover the iPhone just to give it a wee bit more light, what I'll do is I'll share the image without the light and then the image with the iPhone light, just to let you see the subtle difference it actually makes. Right, I finished here. I'm going to keep wandering. Right, I've got myself right in the thick of it. I've got a choice. I can either go down the edge of the loch and try and work my way around, or try and work my way back through this. Do you know, I'm going to try and go down the edge of the loch because it'll be more interesting, I hope. This was a good choice. I've got a nice wee clearing here. Still no light on the top of Ben Ann. I'm just waiting on that light touching the top of Ben Ann. And when I turn round, Got quite a nice glow here. Starting to come round now. I just don't know how far it's going to go because the sun's right behind that cloud. If that cloud was to just move, it's a big cloud as well, Ben Ann will get lit up and that'll be quite spectacular. Right, I'm going to keep looking for opportunities because this light is changing every 5 minutes. The light has just struck the peak of Ben Ann and that top line. So I'm just standing here, I'm just keep pressing because what I now want is I want it to come over that next ridge if it possibly can. I'm happy with what I've got, but that would be really nice. And then what I'm also doing is I'm using these trees more as a kind of frame to push me right to complement the side of Ben Ann's peak. Right, we might be asking too much of the sun just now because it's still shaded by the cloud. However, we've persisted, so we'll keep going. And when, oh look, we're starting to get full light coverage now. Oh, that is lovely, absolutely lovely. Right, I'm going to take these shots and when I've finished, I'll share these images with you now. I've walked along, actually walked in the water because it's easier to walk in the water than it is through the kind of the trees. But I've got this composition where I've got the reeds in front of me and I had a bit of light earlier, so I'm hoping I caught that in time. It was really just opportune as I was walking around. But yeah, I've taken this image and what I'll do is I'll share this image with you. Before I leave this area, I like this composition in front of me. So we've got the shoreline sweeping round and then we've got the reeds more or less pointing up to Ben Ann. So we've kind of got that circular effect and then we've got that leading line right up to the peak of Ben Ann there. So this can be quite a tricky shot because I've got a really dark foreground and then I've got a really bright background. So I will probably have to bracket this so that I can try and bring up and enhance the foreground while retain the darkness in the background. When I'm finished, I will share this image with you now. I'm now more or less back where I started a few hours ago. So I'm beside all these tent pitches here and we walked out that way earlier. And I'm sure I got my first shot over here. Right, I'm going to head back to the car in that direction because there might be some interesting stuff on the way. Okay, so I managed to find a wee spot here in the burn and what I intend is, as you can see, we've got a number of cascades here at this level. So I'll take a shot of the wider view and then I'll zoom in and I'll get that middle section and then I'll zoom in again and I'll get the top section. So that's the plan and when I'm finished I will share these images with you now. I spotted this cracking composition because you've got that fern on the top backlit by the sun and then we've got this small cascade coming down right in front of it. This is quite dark and that's quite bright. So I'm trying to get a couple of images there. I've lost the sun, but I managed to get a couple of shots before the sun went away. I'll wait a couple of minutes to see if it's backlit and I'll get another shot because I'd like to try a portrait style image as well. I think I might have lost the light. Anyway, the ones I did take, I'll share them with you now. Alright, I'm going to end the video here. It's been an interesting morning. I've never been into that campsite before. It's closed for the winter, so you can just walk in freely in and out. And yeah, the conditions weren't 100% the way I thought I was going to get just because of the forecast. However, we got pockets of light and those images will hopefully turn out really nice. And then we've got this last wee shot here up at these cascades. Anyway, I'm going to end the video. So here's hoping you like it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that'll let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks again for watching, and here's to the next video.